What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode 7 of Life of a Single Mom with
Brittney&Creasha.
Brittney. And we're so glad to have you guys join us today. Forgive my background. Got a lot of stuff going on today. I'm in the process of moving, but we're going to try to breeze through this episode without any interruptions or
Ain't
mishap.
no problem. We all been through it,
So,
sis. I'm going to start with talking to the young ladies. A lot of us go without speaking to the younger crowd and telling them things that they really need to know. Like we tell them basic stuff, but we don't tell them, the deep stuff. All of us, even you, sis, probably can relate to this. When we first meet a man, we really think that first guy be everything to us. We fall in love head over heels. Sometimes we have sex real quick, and then comes the problems because sometimes you get pregnant. And I just wanted to talk to the young
mhm.
ladies and let you know you need to focus on yourself, because we tend to get in these relationships with these men, let them tell us what they want to tell us, sweet talking us in our ears, and we thinking they gonna be our forever, and you have a baby with these guys and they not ready to be a father, but they forced to be a father. And now you chasing a grown ass man that act like a kid, and
Yeah.
you have to raise these kids. You end up raising them probably 9 times out of 10 by yourself. And you running behind this man, you neglecting your kids because the energy you putting into that man and the energy you putting into trying to find these text messages, trying to see who else he dating, trying to see what his social media be like you spend so much damn time being the investigator in a relationship and you forget about the kids. You slipping on their homework, you slipping on their reading, you
Yeah.
slipping on everything that you're supposed to do within your household. You slipping even taking care of yourself because you care more about this man. And 9 times out of 10, if you're doing all that, he don't give a damn about you. So I wanted to reach out to y'all and let y'all know that because, I went through that. Paying attention to my baby father more than I was paying attention to my kids, and I have two older kids that are one is grown, one is almost grown, and then I have them little ones that are 10, and here it is looking at the way I raised my older kids versus the way I'm raising my younger kids, it's a big difference, because at that time when I was raising my older kids, I was chasing my baby daddy. I was paying more attention to what's going on in our relationship and the fight that we had going on. And I didn't even pay attention that I wasn't feeding my kids, and that put a big wedge in between you and your kids. Like, whether you know it or not, like, you be in the house with your kids, but you really don't be doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be honest with yourself because I mean, that's just like when we was younger, we smoked some weed around our kids, we didn't know the depth of that, why people used to say don't do it, but I bet you we know now, you know what I'm saying? But versus when we was 18 and 21, we didn't care about that.
I talked about that in one of our previous episodes about, being so distracted by chasing, trying to see what somebody else got going on to where you neglect yourself and your kid. And I think that's very important that the young girls know that don't be chasing no man. Because if a man wants you, he gonna chase you.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to do the chasing. So that's number one. And I think for young girls, because I mentioned this too, like for me, having attention from an older man was flattering because I had my daddy issues, and you know I liked the attention from a man because I wasn't getting that. So I know that, a lot of girls growing up without their fathers, uh, don't be out in the streets looking for the love that, you should have got at home. Wait, it'll find you. God will send it to you in due time. Be patient. I know it's hard. Your body start changing, hormones, all that, but I promise you it'll be so worth it if
Yeah,
you
for
wait.
sure. Um, Another thing I wanted to talk about is us women, young ladies, whatever age bracket you in, we have got to stand up for ourselves and stop letting these men treat us any old type of way. And I know sometimes it's because of how
Hmm.
you was raised and the things you were never taught, but at one point in our lives we know better, so we gotta do better.
Yeah.
A lot of us sit here and just accept anything, I mean, let's talk about the woman that gets money from a man. If you got a man doing something for you, you're just going to accept certain things because you need that income, and that's not cool because you should be able to try to find your own income. Like, a man is only going to do what you allow him to do, and as long as we still here accepting
Yeah.
they bullshit, they gonna continue to put it out there. I mean, no one wants to re-raise a grown-ass man, but at the same time you also got the right to tell that man no. These men out here is crazy, like they don't have the sense God gave them to keep a job, to be able to protect, provide, and really stand for a man. Like, is men out here having babies and they got sons walking the streets and they don't give no damn about teaching them how to be a man. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember when I was coming up, men would help, other people. You would see a grown man or a granddaddy helping a little guy fix the tire on his bike or fix a tire on a car, or, what I'm
Hmm.
saying, put oil in the car. Like, those are the things that men used to, deal with each other on those levels. You know what I'm saying? Like barbecues, teaching them how to cook and do the things that men need to do. You know what I'm saying? Letting you know that a little boy's supposed to take his mama trash out and just stuff like that. Like, I don't know. As long as we still continue to accept this bullshit that they throwing out there, they gonna always do it because it's nobody to tell them not to. You know what I'm saying? Like, everybody always say the man should lead the family, but at the same time I think it's a little bit of both, the man and the woman, because sometimes the man ain't got the right sense, and he need that woman to level him out to get him. Like, he might have that potential to be that person, but he just need an extra push or a different type of guidance. You know what I'm saying? So we all gotta
Hmm.
pretty much work together, but women, we gotta stop accepting these bullshit ass little tickets these men giving us because they not doing it properly. They not, like the things that we used to see coming up is not happening no more. Men are getting weaker and weaker, and it's not cool because this is what they raising the generations to come to be like.
Not only that, I think we gotta stop making excuses for these men all the time. Like, stop being so considerate and allowing them to, meet us at the bare minimum. I feel like work your issues out. I'm gonna work mine out. Then let's, if we meant, we'll meet together when we both whole.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that I don't want to be a fixer upper anymore. I don't want to fix up no
yeah,
junk men no more. I just don't want to do
yeah.
it. You know what I'm saying? And
I
I'm
mean, these
saying
men nowadays
I'm
don't
not
even come with
fixed
the
either.
basics.
That's what I'm saying. And for me, I can own it. I got some junk parts on me too. That's what I'm saying. I'm not thinking about no relationship or nothing like that right now because I got so much work to do. I'm not ready for
Right.
nobody. My trust level is so diminished at this point. Even if I found a good man, I wouldn't know how to deal with it and be good to him because I'm so
Yeah.
damaged. So,
Yeah, that
yeah.
being damaged is something because when you so used to dysfunction, you don't even know how to accept, a person that's good to you, because it's like I have somebody special in my life, and he really, really, I battle with this all the time when I talk to you, sister, about him. Like, it's crazy because he's such a good guy. And it's like my heart is telling me that that's what I need, but it's like my mind is like, do you do it? Do you do it, or do you not? You know what I'm saying? And it's like, when you got something good, you want to hold
Mm-hmm.
on to it, but you also don't want to be selfish if you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? But it's just, you be that messed up in the mind, like, that you don't even, you second guessing yourself on something good for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all the shit you've been through,
Yeah.
you really focusing on, do I deserve this? Or, man, is this man gonna be real with me? Like, you've been through so much bullshit with the past situations. You think everybody go do you like that, but you gotta realize, after being 39, for me, not everybody is the same way. You got to give everybody a chance, just like you gave that fuck person a
Yeah.
chance. You know what I'm saying? Because some people do be telling the truth. Some people do be solid. But if I'm living my life based off of my past, then I'm never going to have nothing good. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I battle with the most right now, is knowing what's good for me and accepting it.
Yeah. I think like, years ago, I used to believe like never to give up on love. That's probably why I got so many kids. But at this point, I'm just like, I'm glad that you found somebody because I was a big supporter of you because you still believe in it. You know what I'm saying? And I told you I would live vicariously
Yeah.
through you
And
in
this
your
ain't something that I
relationships.
really wanted,
But
like, I loved my baby daddy.
yeah,
Man, I wish we could have really made it, but it's time to move forward, because that shit is being crazy, and enough is enough. But
that's another thing I was gonna say before you move on. We can want something so so bad. That don't mean
yeah.
that it's good for us. And now that I'm older, and you look back on the relationships you've been in, most of them you wasn't
Right.
really supposed to be in. You kind of forced
Mm-hmm.
yourself to be in them. You know
Just
what I'm
accept the
saying?
stuff
You saw things. hmm You accepted things. You
overlooking.
saw red flags. You ignored them because you really wanted. So that's what I'm saying. Like, sometimes it's not even that people think, oh, we meant to be that. Like, no, you ain't meant to be. You forcing that
Yeah.
relationship. And I know because I did it for 10 years almost. I did it with my daughter's father. You know what I'm saying? For 13 years on and off. So, yeah, we got to stop that. Like, when you start seeing the red flags and stuff, because again, when a man wants you, he gonna really want you, and you're not gonna
Right.
have to do none of that. What I've learned is it's not supposed to be this
Mm-hmm.
hard to be in a relationship. Love is
Yeah.
supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be compromising. It's supposed to be gentle. It's supposed to be safe. It's supposed to be understanding. You know what I mean?
And I know everything ain't
And
gonna be
if it's too
good,
hard, just
but everything ain't gonna be this
yeah.
difficult. Like,
But those qualities are supposed to shine through
mhm.
in those difficult times. The compromise, the loving, the understanding.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And if you can't do that, then that's it just
yeah.
defeats the whole point.
Um, Also, the outside parents need to understand that these parents that be at home with these kids all day need to have the right state of mind to raise these kids correctly. Like, don't be arguing on the phone, putting them through extra bullshit drama, being petty for no reason. You know what I'm saying? Like, you do know that that man or that woman
Yeah.
got to raise your kids, and you don't want them snapping on your kids because they pressure, because you won't pay something that you said you was going to pay, or you won't come through on something that you said you was gonna come through on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just too much to go through all the drama. Like, I feel like when two parents make a mutual decision to separate, that does not mean that you separating from them damn kids. That means that you're separating from that parent,
hmm
and it still means that you are obligated to that kid. Not 50%. We not doing no 50-50 when it's your kid 100%, just like it's mine.
No.
Everything, I don't care what you do
hmm
and how much child support you pay. If the shoe was on the other foot, you would, if you needed help, you would expect that parent to do the same thing. So all this, oh, I'm only paying my child support and I'm not doing this, like that shit is crazy to me. You got a kid, you should be ashamed that you even gotta have a child support case. Nobody should have to tell your ass what you need
Yeah.
to do for your kids. You should have a clear understanding on what you and your baby father or you and your baby mother is going to do for these kids and how it's going to get done respectfully. There's no reason. Every time I go in a child support place, I'm not in there like ratchet females be. Oh my God, I'm just getting this man for his money. I'm just doing that. I feel embarrassed as hell. I feel like a cliche. I feel like I shouldn't even
Yeah.
be in here. Like I've known this man 17 years,
Yeah.
almost 18 years. I should not even have to be in this damn place. We should be able to come together and
Mm-hmm.
talk about shit and really get on the page of raising our kids, because I'm like this. Anything that you not gonna teach your kid, you giving another person a chance to teach them. So I would never want to walk away from my
Yeah.
kids in any given situation, because you giving another crazy ass person out here a chance to tell them whether it be right or wrong. Why would you give somebody else a chance to give your kids the game when you already got it in your hand? You know what I'm saying? So we need to really
Yeah.
understand that them parents at home need to be in the right state of mind. If you know that they take your kids to school every day, why don't you surprise they ass and take them once or twice a week for that person to give them some breaks? Why don't you pop up and do something?
Or
Yes.
put some
You know what I'm
gas
saying? If
in
you
the
know
car.
that they pay for all your kids' meals and everything, I don't care if they get an EBT, because none of that shit is helping at all these days. Like food, let's be real. That shit is expensive. So if you know you need food to survive every day,
Not only that, talk about the fact that when you work, how they decrease show stuff. You know
exactly,
what's going on with
exactly.
that right
Because
now.
people be quick to say you get an EBT, but not knowing if you got a whole full time
Mm-hmm.
ass job, they going based off of your income. You know what I'm saying? So you're not really getting the
Yep.
full amount that you would get for the amount of kids you have because you're working. So everything is based off of your income. So whatever you get in government, subsidized housing, whatever, is income based. So
Mm-hmm.
if you working, that income is being put in and they calculating it off. You know what I'm saying?
You
So
paying regular
if you
rent.
got kids, you know they take lunches to school, you know they eat snacks. That shit costs. Buy a
Mm-hmm.
box of chips, buy some juices. If you don't want to
Yep.
give the mama or the daddy money, then send that shit. Amazon pull up. Amazon pull up. You can't tell me
Mm-hmm.
that you can't Amazon your kids some
I was
snacks. You know what
just
I'm
about
saying?
to say
Like,
that.
let's be real. Make that shit make sense. Like, if you have kids out here, both parties are responsible, period, point blank. There is no, I do more than you do more than me. No, it's if I got it and you don't, I got you. If you got it and I don't, you supposed to have me. You know what I'm saying? If I'm down and you up, help a nigga out. You know what I'm saying? Because I would do the same thing. You know, like, it's too many parents out here really knowing that they kids is going without shit. You know what I'm saying? How could you even feel good and sleep fresh at night when you know your kid is on the other side somewhere needing something? And if you ain't talked or touched bases
Mm-hmm.
with the other parents in a couple weeks, a couple months, or whatever the case may be, you should feel guilty as hell that you ain't reaching out doing everything in your will. I know for a fact my dad was an outside dad. You know what I'm saying? And my mom always had me around him because I lived close to his mom. So I always saw him when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? He was an outside dad. He checked me in school. He actually took me to the park and played with me, not just left me there like some parents just let your ass play around. So it could be done. You know, parents, fathers be lazy as hell.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? For real. And I'm saying fathers because that's in my position. But if you a mom, you know, and you lazy as hell, this is for you too. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not just to say just fathers,
Yeah.
because it's moms too. But this shit gotta stop. Like, because no one loses but the kid. Like, y'all be out here playing petty ass adult
That's what I was
games,
about to
but the
say.
kids is out here lacking stuff. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me.
That's what I was about to say. At the end of the day, it's about the kid. You helping out your baby mom. Like you said, send that stuff. Give me a gift card to
Mm-hmm.
the grocery store. And like you said, from our point of view, it's the dads that's lacking. But I got two brothers and they
Exactly.
take care of their kids. You know what I'm saying? Like my brother is one of my brothers, he's more like the mom than his baby mama. Like he go to all the birthday
Mm-hmm.
parties with the kids. He take them there. He do the amusement parks. He do this. He go to the movies. He do all that. You know what I'm saying? So it can be done. And then my other brother, he was having problems with his baby mama not letting him see his daughter. He went to court and got partial custody. That's what
Mm-hmm.
it can be done. I'm so tired of men saying, "Oh, the judge give custody to the mom." That do not happen all the time.
Yes.
Stop saying that. If a judge feel like the dad is doing a better job, he will give you your
Yes.
props, and he or she will let you have the rights you deserve. But y'all just fall over and play dead. Like you don't even put up a
Yeah.
fight. If you really feel like you a father and you got the proof and you could back it all up, because I'm not saying just say, "Oh, she keeping the kids for me," and you really ain't doing nothing. Because my brothers really is doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah,
Yeah.
that's just another thing, man. You know what I'm saying? I know it's men out there that's raising kids by themselves, and
For
big
real.
ups to y'all because we got a cousin that's raising a child right now, and he's struggling as a single parent too. And I was telling our auntie, like, this is a test, this gonna be a testimony for him because not a lot of men know what it's
Yeah.
like to raise kids on their own and have the struggle and not be able to work and not be
Mm-hmm.
able to do this and
To
trying to
figure it
do
out.
hair and trying to do, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you gotta figure it out. And it's the same with like uh I had a foster dad and he was amazing. He had a daughter with
Mm-hmm.
cerebral palsy, and he hired a
Yeah.
nurse and he would get her hair
Yeah.
done, and you know what I'm saying? He really did his stuff. So it can be done. You just gotta want to do it and find a
Yeah,
way.
for
You know what I'm
sure.
saying?
Um, child support payers. Child support payers. If you paying child support and you got, a ratchet ex partner that's just trying to be greedy and get you for your funds, I'm so sorry that you're going for that. But if you a whack ass payee and you know you not paying what you should or could be paying for your kids to survive, you're crazy as hell. Because there is no way in history
Mm,
that you can
I got
sit here and
you
give a
got that
person a certain
anointing on
amount of
you.
money and think that that's going to provide for your kids for the whole month. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
I hear one person say, "Oh, I got one baby and I give $500 to $800," and another one, you know what I'm saying, talking about he got a kid and he paid over a thousand
yeah.
dollars. Now I know proportion based off of how
Yes.
much they work, but I also know that when you have a lower check and you paying a low amount of money, we also know that you hustling on the side and you doing shit on the side that nobody knows about. You know what I'm saying? So what you need to really do is do your portion for your kids. You know what I'm saying? Because if they need clothes, they need shoes, and you know that damn money ain't gonna cover it, like come on now, let's get real. We stay in Nevada, first of all, I do. So the light bill in the summertime is high as hell. Ain't no way you could pay me a little bit of money and expect that shit to last the whole month for your kid. You know what I'm saying? We gotta buy food. Thank God I don't gotta buy diapers because oh my God, I can only imagine a girl that needs to pay cash for diapers and milk. Can you imagine that, sister? Now?
But we've
Yes.
been there and done that too. Don't think because you
It
get
don't.
WIC that cover it too. You
You
still
are
gonna end up
definitely gonna
buying
buy something
cans,
because
and
it
you
don't
still go
last. You better go ahead and use these because
in
man, that
diapers.
milk gonna cost you something.
Hmm.
For
Yeah,
sure. Um
yeah.
Also to the single parents that got the kids at home. Don't feel sad when you lashing out and you frustrated and you having a bad day. You should always be able to have a bad day because you have the kids 24/7. You doing everything on your own. You know what I'm saying? So the kids are with you 24/7. So whatever you going through, they going to see it some type of way. Like if your kids pay attention to you, which most of them do, they going to know when you having a bad day, when you upset, when you feeling bad. You know what I'm saying? They know. And the closest one to you that pay attention to you going to always come to you and be like, "Mom, you all right? Mom, you feeling some type of way?" But people make you feel guilty because you frustrated and you angry, and it's like damn, if you work all day, take care of kids, gotta cook, gotta clean, gotta wash clothes, gotta check homework, gotta do this, gotta do that, gotta do this all day, every day. This is 5 days a week, depending on how your schedule is. Luckily, I work every day that my kids go to school, so I get to spend the weekends with them. But who helping them with homework? I wake up literally at 5 in the morning every day. Drop my son off at 6:45 to high school. Then I go to the elementary and I drop them off at 7:30. And then I'm shooting to work because I gotta be at work at 8 o'clock. And then I'm working from 8 anywhere from 5 p.m. to 6, sometimes 7, depending on the doctor day, you know. And when I get home, I gotta cook, I gotta clean. My kids do sports, so I gotta do drop offs, I gotta pick up, I gotta sit in meetings, I gotta sit in awards assemblies, I gotta sit in academics things. You know, I got a senior right now. He's been in everything, you know, plays, all kind of stuff, photography. You know, they have all these sports meetings and all of that stuff. So you have online Zooms and all kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Saturday trainings, all type of stuff. So I'm Ubering, spending so much money doing all of these things. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, I'm supposed to smile. I'm supposed to wake up and be like, oh my God, it's a great day. Like, hell no, I'm tired. I want to get a break too. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to go back to school. I'm trying to do all these things that I need to do, but I got to put all of this on hold to make sure that my kids is maintained. While this other parent on the outside gets to live their dreams. They get to do whatever the hell they want to do. But I got to sit here and raise these kids and deal with emotional problems, deal with school problems, deal with academic checks. I got to deal with all of these things, and I'm supposed to do it all with a smile. I'm not, I don't, after everything I just told you, I don't qualify for a break. I don't qualify to break down. I mean, I posted a video the other day and I was boohoo crying because I'm just so stressed out sometimes, you know? Sometimes shit seems so unfair because I'm doing all that I could possibly do. And I just feel like, what are you going to do? Hello, are you going to meet me halfway? Just like you said, you know, sometimes the parents need to meet each other halfway, but that's not the case. You know what I'm saying? And then you become overwhelmed and you stress because you got so much shit going on and you can never breathe. And I'm sure you know, because you have 6 kids. Even when you take that little breath, it's like somebody hit you right then and there and you like, damn, I just thought I was going to have a second to myself. And it's like, have you ever done that? Like you've been trying to you trying to get a second outside to yourself or something, and somebody, one of your kids, call you and you like skirt in your tracks like, damn, man, we can't get away from it.
Mhm.
It's just everyday life. So take a break. Y'all take a break. For real, for real.
Yeah, I think that it's so overwhelming being a parent. And like you said, all that stuff that we have to do on our own. I think it's important to know too, because I've been seeing since we started this podcast, you get those few men in the comments that'll say something like, oh, y'all need to pick better men. You know what I'm saying? We've said that multiple times. If you watch the videos and you listen to the podcast, we've said that it's time for women to start owning up to the fact that we picking these men. You know what I'm saying? We gotta do better
Mm-hmm.
interviews when we on these dates. We gotta ask better questions. But at the same time, that don't excuse y'all
Mm-hmm.
from doing y'all job. And I'm so tired of men walking around acting like they don't have the 100% responsibility of taking care of the
Right.
kids, like you just said. It's like, why you get to get up and make yourself breakfast
Right.
without thinking of the kids? Why you get to go out and run your errands without having the kids
Mm-hmm.
to worry about? You a parent too. You just as much of a parent as I am. Feel what I'm saying? So yeah, I think instead of blaming women for picking a bad man that they do, how about y'all recognize and see the deficiencies that obviously were there while that girl was
Yeah.
growing up? You know what I'm saying?
It's it's like back in the day they used to hold each other accountable, you know, like grown men used to tell their friends like, you know, you shouldn't be doing that, or you need to provide for your family, or you need to get your shit together. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays it's like they think that shit is normal to be a nothing ass father or a nothing ass mom. It's okay to have kids and just have them all out here and not paying attention. Like I used to date this one guy. He got like 8 damn kids. You know what I'm saying? and don't barely take care of any, can't provide for none of them. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Like, how do you even feel good as a man being like that? And then you trying to date somebody that got kids and you don't even take care of your own kids. So how in the hell could you do anything or make me believe you gonna do anything that's worth something for my kids when you don't even do that for your own seed? Now, that don't make sense to me, for you to be able to provide for somebody else's child but not your own. That is crazy to me. And there's so many men and women out here that play those roles for
Yeah.
other people's kids but don't play the role for their own damn
Yeah.
kids. That's crazy. How you not gonna do for your own seed, but you gonna have the nerve to get with another woman and be playing that role or being kind to them kids? That's crazy. You need to get it right with your own children. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? It makes no sense. But another thing I wanted to bring to your attention is I know I was talking to my older sister about this because we going into our 40s now, and I was telling her, when we was growing up, my mom always kept us, you know, in a state of mind of not trusting women and feeding women with a long handled spoon, so we grew up not really liking women at all. Like, I didn't have too many friends at all, and most of the girls I kicked it with I beat up. So um it's crazy because now that we older, we don't have too many people in our corner. Like, I have a couple of people that I could call friend or I could say that I really fuck with, but we getting older, and you need to have somebody that you could trust that's solid in your life, because your kids are going to grow up, they're going to be on their own, they're going to have their own family and friends and live their own lives, and not every kid is going to take care of you in your older days. So you got to have some stuff set up for yourself too, because I mean, it's cool if you want to be single and you don't want to have kids. That shit works when you 20, 30, 40, 50. But when you start getting up there and you can't barely reach the stove and you can't get to the bathroom fast enough and you shitting or pissing on yourself, you going to need somebody in your corner. You also need to make sure you have a solid job that's going to give you some good benefits later, because if not, you're going to be screwed. Just trying to use the Medicare, all the shit they changing, it's going to be scandalous for us by the time we get there. You know what I'm saying? If it even exists.
Or make
Yeah,
your own way,
definitely.
make your own business, have your own benefits, because you can't trust the institutions that we got now. Everything is
Yeah,
racist. The school districts, the banks,
yeah,
everything is.
you
So,
definitely do. Moms out there, you need to allow these good fathers to be in your kids' lives. If you have good baby fathers and you just bitter because they don't want to be with you, stop doing that. You hurting these kids. You know dang well them kids love their fathers, so please don't do that. You know what I'm saying? It's
yeah,
it's 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 detrimental that
yeah.
you really allow them to be in their lives, because they gonna resent you when you get older.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Vice
Yeah.
versa. Of course, if you're not a good father, I don't think you should be around your kids at all. If you a manipulating ass father, you a narcissistic father, if you a father that play petty ass games with your own kids, and you know what I'm saying, blame them for your behavior when you're the childish one, we not going there with that. You know what I'm saying? If you them type of fathers, then your ass deserve to be away from them kids and out of their life, because they better off without you, straight up, because you're gonna fuck them up for real. But if you got a
Hmm.
good baby father and you know he do his part, don't make it hard for them, because that kid need that dad. Especially if it's a girl. Boys need them for their own reasons and girls need them too for their own reasons. But don't try to keep a wedge between that kid and their parent if they doing good. You know what I'm saying? Vice versa. If you a father and you got custody of your kids, you got a baby mama, maybe she screwed up in the beginning. If she trying now, give her a chance. Everybody deserve a chance to try to get it right. You know what I'm saying? None of us get it right the first time. We all make mistakes as parents. Like, none of us have a book, and they've been having babies since way back when, but none of us have a book, a script to follow that says, oh, this is
Hmm.
the perfect mom, this is the perfect dad. No, we just moving along through life and trying to make the best decisions possible.
I know I used to say, because I've been a single mom my whole life and none of my kids' dads was involved. But I would have to say, like, I used to say that it didn't even matter if they had any money. Like, just come get your kids, go take them to the park, play
Mm-hmm.
with them. that's what we mean, like being an active parent. If you don't have the ability, we understanding of that, but don't have the ability, then lack the ability to do what you're supposed to be doing. If we know you got a job, you making money, and you should be handling your business. But while we want you to know that we understand them, don't get comfortable and don't think that it's just supposed to stay like that. Because kids is they inexpensive when they're young, but as they get older, the shoe
Mhm.
size increases and all that.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
definitely
saying?
does. Also, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about being thankful for what you have, because sometimes a lot of us are caught up in this new social media and what everybody else is showing you that they own and they drive and all the clothes and fancy things that they
Mhm.
have. And for the kids that have access to the internet but don't have access to those things, and they get discouraged, so they go and steal and they go do all kind of other stuff. I know nowadays a lot of people are doing Airbnbs and they doing their videos in there to make people think that that's where they live or this they type of house or whatever. Don't get discouraged. Be
People do that.
thankful for what you have, because everything in God's timing, you know what I'm saying? That's why I never get mad at the things that I don't have. Like, I feel like um some would look at my situation and say my kid's is doing way better than me financially, you know what I'm saying? And to the out looking in, it might look that way, but for me, I look at it like, if I wasn't the good mom that I am, you wouldn't be able to do the things that you do. You know what I'm saying? Let's not forget the perspective that needs
Uh-huh.
to be at hand, because I do
Yeah.
a lot, and I do a lot on my own. And I'm not going to be silent about those things anymore. It is what it is. If I was an
Mm.
unfit mom, it would be what it was. You know what I'm saying? So let's keep that shit
Yeah.
all the way 100. You get
Hmm.
tired of being silent. You get tired of being the nice person. You get tired of doing everything, and then a motherfucker being able to go out there and say, "Oh yeah, that's all me. I did that." Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, no. That's just like how the outside parents get to show up to the award assembly, but who did all the reading? Who did all the writing? Who did all the correcting? Who did all the teacher conferences?
Mm.
Who did all of those things? Like, your kids standing up there getting these awards, but who's doing the backstory for them to be able to get those? You know what I'm saying? Who's dropping these kids off to school, making sure that they make it on time so they do get they attendance award or they curricular activities? Because in high school, if you late, you can't play your sport. You know what I'm saying? If you miss a day at school, that your coach don't let you play. So if you don't drop your kids off, how they gonna get there? You know what I'm saying? You got to understand all of those things go hand in hand. So it's just it's too much, that the parent that stays with these kids do versus the shit that the outside parent do, and nobody act like they understand the concept of raising a kid. Like, exactly what needs to happen. The same way
Mm.
you have to take care of yourself in a day-to-day life is the same way these kids need to be. You know what I'm saying? Everybody need a place to stay. Everybody needs 3 meals a day. Everybody need a shower every day. Everybody need all these basic things. But meanwhile, you could get up and worry about yourself. And what about everybody else? Because you didn't have this kid, that kid, that kid, this kid, that kid. You know what I'm saying? You know how many kids you have. How many are you actually doing that for in a day? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
People don't understand that, though. The outside parents, they don't really pay attention to that because it's not on their schedule every day. We as single parents, we have to work. If you a father or a mother and you don't live with your
Yep.
kids, you gotta work. But your schedule is set up based off of whatever you gotta do in that day. But us as moms at home, we have to work 8 hours a day, and we still have to make sure we know where all our kids are at that given time. You know what I'm saying? If they need to be picked up early, you have to figure that out. You have to arrange something. If you got somebody to pick them up, great. But if not, you asked out. You got to leave work and miss money and time and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things that they don't see. Like when the food is low in the refrigerator, who's spending their cash money to get that? Because the EBT ain't lasting for 30 days. That shit is out. It's not lasting. So who's
Yeah.
spending their cash? You know what I'm saying? Like hair products, laundry soap,
Mm-hmm.
what? Some lotion. That shit like $13 a bottle. You know what I'm saying?
Tissue,
Like if you got kids, how long you
tissue,
think one
toothpaste,
bottle of lotion gonna
deodorant.
last for 6 kids? That shit ain't lasting that long. Like what? You think that shit gonna be like a 30-day trial? No, maybe 2 weeks, if that.
Yeah.
Deodorant. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's
Internet.
a lot of stuff that goes unspoken. You know what I'm saying? And it's just crazy because people always be have sympathy on the outside parent, like, oh, they're trying. The person that's paying child support, oh, they're trying and they're doing. Well, what the hell you think we doing? What you think we doing? It don't make no sense, girl.
Surviving.
It's just crazy. Like I work every single day and be tired and still go sit in my son game. Still sacrifice things. You know what I'm saying?
Still
Girl,
gotta cook dinner.
I'm
Still
telling
gotta
you,
do the
robbing
laundry.
Peter to pay Paul all the time, trying to pick, do you get you a
Yeah.
vape or do you pay this little fee for this school stuff they got? They got t-shirts, $12. I got
Yeah.
twins, so I gotta pay $24. Up
Yeah.
there goes my vape. You know what I'm saying? It's just everything, man. It's
Hmm.
crazy. You used to be sitting here thinking
Yeah.
about this stuff, like everything you do.
Do you get cigarettes or you put
And
gas
then
in the
people be
car?
like, how do you
Like,
do all of this stuff? And I be like, you know what? I don't even think about doing it because when I think about everything I do, that's when I get overwhelmed. That's when I start crying and having
uh-huh.
stressed out days. Like I could wake up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And lately, for like the last couple weeks, I've been waking up and the first thing I do is pray to God and listen to like a morning worship because that helps me through my day. You know, if I don't do that, I be all messed up. When I go to work, I'm so tired of my job. You know what I'm saying? Like I go to work and don't even want to go. I'm so tired of just living this day to day life.
Mm.
I don't even be wanting to do stuff sometimes, you know? So you
Yeah.
have to force yourself to get out of bed and motivate yourself to actually live up to what you speaking to everybody else because it's like sometimes you really be that bad. And now I got these perimenopausal emotions, so it's really terrible. You know what I'm saying? Like I really be emotional, having attitudes, and sometimes, girl, I really feel like I need to go home and cover my head up with a damn cover and don't speak to nobody. Like that's really how bad my
Hmm.
days be, and I don't know why. So I think it's hormonal. It has to be. On top of everything else, though, it's just like it be so much.
I was just about to say what you said. Like people used to always ask me, like, how do you do it? How you be hanging on? I don't think about it either. I always used to tell people like you don't even think about it. It's just something you
Yeah.
know you gotta do. It becomes second nature. And for me, I always knew that if I didn't do it, my kids didn't have their dad. So it was nobody else gonna do it. We didn't have no family, no friends, like you said, so we had to do it. But yeah, it's days like what you said. You just want to crawl up and ball up into a ball and not like you want the noise to just disappear out
Mm-hmm.
of the room too, like where you can't hear nothing, feel nothing. Yeah, it's just I told my auntie, I was like, you can't really be truthful and tell people what's really going on because you'll mess around and get yourself uh sent to
Mm-hmm.
a mental institution for
Exactly.
an evaluation. Once you start talking about how you so depressed and you've been crying for these days, you thought about
Mm-hmm.
killing yourself and just multiple things. That type of stuff will get you in worse trouble. So you keep the stuff
Yeah.
inside, you know what I'm saying? So you can't tell people that you've been having these feelings because then they turn it into something else. You could lose your kids because they think you
Mm-hmm.
unstable. You know what I'm saying? That's why you need these networks. That's why we created this podcast for you parents that's going through this so you can get the support you need. Share your stories and tell
Yes.
us about it so we can help you. We may know the answer. You guys may know the answer to something we
Mm-hmm.
going through. You know what I'm saying?
Um, Another thing, I hear so many fathers talking about being leaders, for their family. You need to make sure when you hollering being a leader, you a real leader. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that you do in front of your kids are everything to their upbringing and the things that they'll put into this earth as well. Um, Kids should be able to be kids. They should not have to deal with adult problems. If the mom and the dad is going through something, the kids should not have to be adults to try to figure this shit out for y'all. You know what I'm saying? You should be able to figure it out yourself. There is no way, no how a kid should have to be involved in grown people's business. Too many kids are learning how to be adults before they even, teenagers. And it's crazy because I hear it at
Hmm.
my kids' elementary school, so many broken homes and so many things about my mom and my dad and this happened, that happened. Like these kids should not even be hearing y'all argue. And I made that mistake. You know what I'm saying? Like with my older two kids, I argue so much around my older two kids, and it's like I sit back and I think about that sometimes and I can see them as little kids. Even though they older now, almost, both almost grown, I sit back and I can realize when they were little kids and they would be in between me and my baby daddy and just telling us stop fighting, stop the fighting. And every time I sit and get in the zone and think about that, it brings
Hmm.
tears to my eyes because it's like we was so young and stupid and didn't even realize that that shit caused them a whole lot of breakdowns inside. You know what I'm saying? Like the way he should have been building my boys up, you know what I'm saying? He was tearing them down because they was seeing him tear me down. And it's like the fathers
Yeah.
need to be healthy in their kids' lives, just like as the moms. Like you can't be physically abusing the dads. And me, I had a problem with that when I was younger. You disrespect me, I'm gonna flash on you. You know what I'm saying? No. Men don't want no woman that can't be ladylike. So we need to do better as parents. But if you gonna lead your family, be a real leader. You know what I'm saying? Don't be a lying leader. Don't be a conniving leader. Don't be petty. Don't be trying to sit here and say you a man and you really not a man. You need to respond like a man. And if you don't have, the
Yeah.
qualities or your priorities set up like a real man, then you need to go find you some real man and learn that shit. Just like you can go to the hood and find out how to be a thug, you can go to some grown ass man and find out how you treat a woman, how you treat your kids, how you
I was just
respond as
about
a
to say
grown
that.
man. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta choose to call nobody bitches and hoes. You ain't gotta choose to make your kids scared of you like by trying to be ruthless to them. You could choose to be whatever type of man or woman you are. You know what I'm saying? So if you a bad person, you
Hmm.
chose that shit. Fix it. If you a bad father, stop feeling sorry for
Yeah.
yourself. Get off your ass and change it. If you a bad mom and you was trifling in your younger
Yeah.
days, change that shit. You got the opportunity. As long as you got breath in
Yeah.
your life, you got opportunity to change that stuff. But I know one thing, you can't sit here and blame nobody for your situations, you know what I'm saying? Because what you go through is what you putting yourself through. Because we all have opportunities to change it. We all do.
I know I've said that if you are a bad father, you can be a better one. It's never too late. Stop
Mhm.
making excuses for it. You know what I'm saying? Like you said, um, I just think that it's time for women and men to stop making so many excuses, especially in our community. You know what I'm saying? We gotta, like we talked about, we've been, fighting to get out of the struggle our whole life. We gotta make our own way out. Ain't nobody gonna give it to us.
Yeah.
We gotta do it ourselves. And that's important too, like you said, to lead the house. I remember I was listening to DeVal Ellis, and he was saying that he lost everything, when he had his little stint in the NFL, and then the market crashed. He lost real estate and all that. And he said he would be in the shower just crying, and his wife would be like knocking on the bathroom door,
Mhm.
asking him if he's okay. And he'll wipe his tears and be like, "Yeah, I'm just letting the water run out." And he said the only thing that got him through it was because he remembered when his dad lost his job, the way he handled it and
Mhm.
bounced back from it. You know what I'm saying? And the way his grandfather handled stuff like that. So when you have a role model that you can look up to that is a leader, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That makes a big difference,
Yeah.
like you said.
I
Is
just
there
feel like
any? Oh, I'm
I
sorry.
just
Go
feel
ahead.
like some parents don't try hard enough. You know what I'm saying? I just like be honest with yourself. Like if you can meet somebody to date and you can go the extra mile to make them happy, to please them, to do something to make them like you or make them want you more, you should be able to do that same shit for your kids. Like how is it that you meet a stranger out here and you could be good to them but you don't be good to your own kids? You know what I'm saying? You got to learn how to put your priorities where they need to be put. You know, like you can't be worried about relationships and shit if you ain't worried about your kids sleeping good at night. Everything should be where it needs to be lined up. You know what I'm saying? If you don't take good care of your kids, you don't need to date nobody anyway, because what if that person have kids? They should be smart enough to see how you love your own kids to know that you ain't gonna love their kids. You know what I'm saying? So you need to put that stuff into perspective for real. What type of examples are you for your kids? You know, what do your kids see when they see you? You know, like what do you actually like? I can sit here and actually tell myself the things that I've actually taught my kids. I'm not talking about how to ride a bike. I'm not talking about how to use the damn tablet and find YouTube. I'm not talking about those things. I'm talking about, do you know how far your kid can read? Do you know how many words a minute they can read? Do you know what is the hardest word they know? Do you spell out loud with them, or do you make them write everything down? You know what I'm saying? Do you test them periodically to see where their brain is and how they working and functioning? You know what I'm saying? Do you really see the growth in them and what they're doing physically and mentally? You know what I'm saying? What is their intellect like? How many books do you sit down and read with them? You know what I'm saying? Do they know certain things about certain animals? Do they These are things that we need to really be talking to our kids about. You know what I'm saying? Like we worried about how many damn YouTube channels they know and how many damn Fortnite points they got and how many Grand Theft Auto games they have and what number Nintendo you have, and we worried about the wrong shit. How many
Mm-hmm.
bikes you have? What did you get for Christmas? Like, how was your grades before Christmas break? Damn the Christmas. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are things we need to ask ourselves as parents, but we too busy worried about this worldly stuff. We can't get to the real stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because we worried about the simple minded shit. It's crazy. So,
Um, is there anything else you wanted to leave the people with before you get to the outgoing message?
um, I just want to leave you guys with focusing on creating a better generation to come. You know, anything that you could do to help another person be a better person, do that. You know what I'm saying? Because back in the days we used to correct each other, and I mean not me per se because I wasn't back in the days, but they used to correct each other. You know, you see somebody kid doing wrong and you don't
Mm-hmm.
gotta be disrespectful. You don't gotta put them in a situation to where they have to be defensive to you. You know, you can let them know that you are trying to help. You are trying to show them a better way. You know what I'm saying? You don't per se make them feel bad about their decision because they might not know, but you can tell them in a
Yeah.
comforting, respectful way that you have another way for them to look at it, another way to do things. You know what I'm saying? Like if you see a kid doing something, like these women be so disrespectful with their potty mouth, like try to see why she talk like that, where she come from, who she learning from, what kind of
Mm-hmm.
aunties
Yep.
and uncles she have raising her. You know what I'm saying? Because what a kid always do what they
Yep.
see. You know what I'm saying? They mimic everything that they see. So if your kid is doing something that you don't like, then you need to self check and check everybody around you, because that's where they getting it from. They picking it up from somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So maybe that means you alter the stations they listen to as far as music, the TV sets that they watch as far as
Mm-hmm.
YouTube or whatever stuff they watching that they don't need to be watching. You know, you have to find little things to change, but always be respectful to each other. But again, help if you can. That's what giving back to your community is. You know, I know some of my neighbors, I live by
Mm-hmm.
Hispanics. They the nicest people in the world. Like they always cooking and offering you a plate. How many times you offer your neighbor a plate? You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Nowadays shit is so sketchy. You don't even want to offer nobody no plate because
Yeah.
they don't trust you, you don't trust them. Like what happened to the love? What happened to the care? You know what I'm saying? And the different part of life. What happened
Yeah.
to being your neighbor's friend and helping everybody? I remember growing up on the same streets in LA, and we all grew up together, and we could eat at this person's house, we could eat at that person's house, we could spend a night and have a slumber party here. We could do all these things. Nowadays, you can't even do that. So, togetherness, y'all. Help each other. You got anything you want to say?
Yeah, I think that's a great outgoing message. I think like you said, instead of criticizing that person, find out maybe they don't know better, you know what I'm saying? And I know we've all been guilty of that, judging somebody and not really knowing what they going through, because I've done it, you know what I'm saying? And that's why, like you said, maturity and growth, you get older and you realize the error in your ways, you try to be better. It's never too late. And that's the only way we gonna get a sense of community back with our people, with our culture, because we had it. And the times that we did have it, it was back in the days on them plantations working for, the slave masters. We need to get back to that. Unify, rise up as a people, you know what I'm saying? And we can only do that by helping each other, making each other better,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying? Supporting each other, not being judgmental, and yeah.
Yeah. One thing about
Um
it is you can fool men, you can fool your friends, you can fool whoever on this earth, but you cannot fool God. You know what I'm saying? You got to have a good heart, a clean heart, and raise these kids properly. You know what I'm saying? If you a mom or a dad, please, please, please realize that co-parenting,
excuse me.
being together on making decisions for these kids is everything. You know what I'm saying? If you a single mom or dad and you doing it all by yourself, I give so many praises to you guys because you are unseen, unheard, and you doing it. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got some ungrateful kids, I say thank you because they don't know how blessed they are to have just you. You know what I'm saying? So don't be discouraged. Always know that you could reach out, you could talk to us, you could tell us your story. If you don't want to tell it yourself, we could tell it for you. You know what I'm saying? But stay blessed, you guys. And always, always, always trust God because that's the only one that's going to give you the strength to go through whatever you got to go through in life. So until next time, I appreciate you guys. Please like this, share, comment.
And make sure you guys are writing to us in our email, because we still waiting on some, we waiting on some of y'all
Yes.
stories. We
And
need to
it
hear
doesn't have
from
to be
y'all.
crazy like
Even
these
if it's to
people because
say,
we trying to be on some real stuff, y'all. We trying to give y'all some real stories, some real solid information, from the heart. We not trying to booty bounce on here and shake our stuff and show our bodies and all of that to get in internet likes. We trying to actually educate, you know what I'm saying, and give people strength because we know how it is to struggle out here. We know how it is to be single moms and to not be able to make ends meet, to get them eviction notices. We know what all of that stuff is about. We know. We know, and it's hard. And sometimes you don't want to talk about it because you don't want people to know your business. But that's the only way that you gonna get through it is if you help yourself through it. You gotta talk yourself through it, pray yourself through it. You gotta find a friend that's gonna cry with you sometime. You got to find a way to do it in a positive way. You know what I'm saying?
and you can send it to us anonymously, like you said, if
Yes.
you want to. And you can, and we'll share it for you, like Krisha said. But make sure you guys are emailing us at LOASM2024 at Gmail, or LOASM2025 at Gmail. And make sure you following us on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok. Make sure you checking out the episodes on
Our
YouTube.
skipping.
um we're on Patreon, Spotify.
Yes, we appreciate you guys. And to anyone that want to be haters, we love y'all too.
Yeah, because we know we gonna get those too, and we're prepared for 'em. We not gonna let y'all take, our positivity and joy away. We just gonna keep pushing. um Even now, we not getting a lot of views, we not getting a lot of traction, but we still on here making these episodes faithfully in between, whatever trials and tribulations we got going on. So yeah, we just gonna keep going and giving y'all the real life of a a single
Yeah, you
mother.
guys just make sure you follow us.
And do your best to be less stressed and more blessed as you deal with your life as a single mom. Till
Yeah.
next time, y'all.
Bye, guys.